Okay, so let's talk about sending back a barrel home. If you don't know what sending a barrel home is, if you're not Caribbean, is basically packing up a big barrel, stuffing it with goodies, all type of stuff, mostly food, and then sending it back home to Jamaica or wherever in the Caribbean you are for your family and friends to have back home. And I just seen this video that was sent to me about this young lady saying that a lot of the Jamaican Americans or third generation Jamaicans in America have like stopped sending home barrels, don't want to send any Western Union, basically forgetting about the community that they have back home. And as a Jamaican American, it was interesting because I understand both sides. But I think a lot of the times people don't understand that America is not a bed of roses. Foreign life, hard. It's no joke. Any Jamaican that comes up to America and works, they tell you how depressing it is. How this is a place that you can make some money, but it's a rat race. You always working. I got something in my hair. But anyways, you always working.
Don't send a barrel to Jamaica. If you don't understand the cultural significance of barrel, of sending money home, just don't do it. I remember when I was struggling with my son many years ago. And literally, barrel saved my life. That barrel saved me sometimes like 6 months on a supermarket bill. Sometimes I was in such desperate need. At the $50 a Western Union make me eat. You understand me? Sometimes when the rent need to pay, and sometimes I when I back to school and you're so desperate and you get on the phone and you want to beg the $100 and you go around so many corners because you want to beg the $100 but you don't know how to beg the $100 because embarrassment will kill you. You understand me? But at $100 there, keep the roof over your head for another month. You understand me? I remember that. This whole culture of sending barrel back home came about because as a community, we sacrificed and invested so that some of our relatives could get a ticket, could pay for the visa fees and buy a ticket. You understand me? And we help them get on their feet so that they could go abroad. And when them in a position and I make a little money, then yes, the expectation is that then they would turn around and help us. You understand? Sometimes it's the breadwinner of the family who left their children, as it was the case in my family, that my mother had to leave her children in the care of the community and go overseas. You understand me? Come to America to try to make it. And the struggles that she went through when she initially came here. You understand? And made sure that at home, not just us, but the community that we were in were okay. See, I understand that there are a lot of people nowadays who have the expectation that they should not work and that, the barrel must come and
your family back home thinks you're rich, but you're eating ramen for dinner again. Every month it's the same cycle. Western Union notification, barrel cost, shipping cost, just a little something to help out. Meanwhile, you're working double shifts, living paycheck to paycheck, and your American friends think you're crazy for sending half of your salary to Jamaica. But here's what nobody talks about. The guilt is eating you alive because you know what they sacrificed everything to get you to America. And now they're counting on you to become the economic miracle. But what if I told you that both sides are trapped in a system that's breaking families apart instead of building them up? Stay with me because we are about to unpack the barrel culture that nobody wants to address. I have some clips that build the basis of our conversation today. I'd like us to watch them together, then I'll be back with my further analysis.
Okay, so let's talk about sending back a barrel home. If you don't know what sending a barrel home is, if you're not Caribbean, is basically packing up a big barrel, stuffing it with goodies, all type of stuff, mostly food, and then sending it back home to Jamaica or wherever in the Caribbean you are for your family and friends to have back home. And I just seen this video that was sent to me about this young lady saying that a lot of the Jamaican Americans or third generation Jamaicans in America have like stopped sending home barrels, don't want to send any Western Union, you know, basically forgetting about the community that they have back home. And as a Jamaican American, it was interesting because I understand both sides. But I think a lot of the times people don't understand that America is not a bed of roses. Foreign life, hard. It's no joke. Any Jamaican that comes up to America and works, they tell you how depressing it is. How this is a place that you can make some money, but it's a rat race. You always working. I got something in my hair. But anyways, you always working. You can't even enjoy the little piece of money that you have because something is always happening here. And I do feel like in the Caribbean in general, there's always this expectation to give. And it does cause a lot of trauma and puts a lot of strain on the people that are in America trying to make a way for themselves because they feel like they have to give back. And that's something that I've struggled with my entire 20s. It took me up until a year and a half to 2 years ago to just really stop sending back money home just for no fucking reason, honestly. But I do also understand the other option, like the other side of it, where it's just like this person is in America. It seems like they're living this life and they're traveling. And then when they want to come home to Jamaica, you want tigars on bun on cheese, on cornmeal, on oxtail, on fried chicken, but you didn't send me anything, but you're expecting this. So, of course, the best case scenario is for it to be symbiotic, where you send me something, I give you something or whatever, but it's always imbalanced. So when it comes to the barrel thing, no, it's just like it takes one, you have to buy the barrel. I tried to pack a barrel one time and I just gave up. You have to buy the barrel, buy the stuff to put in the barrel, ship off the barrel, and then somebody has to clear the barrel. So sometimes let's just say I did the first 3 steps, got the barrel, fill it up, ship it off. A lot of people will turn around and expect you to send the money to clear the barrel. So it's so much work. I honestly, truly don't think that's something that any young Jamaican American or anybody who's in the States that's young to be doing that, because it's just too much pressure. Just do what you can. But it's hard because then people look at you and feel like you should be doing this X, Y, and Z to help out. And they don't understand that it's a completely different thing up here. The blessing that I feel like the Caribbean has or Jamaicans have is that, like she was saying in the video, you can go to your neighbors and ask for some sugar or ask for some flour or ask for a piece of chicken, whatever, because you have that community. In America, it's very, very different. I don't even know my neighbors. I just moved here. But my last apartment was for 5 years. I still didn't know my neighbors. Maybe I live in Georgia. You knock on somebody's door, you may get blown back. There's no community here, honestly. Even the curated ones is very hard to get that, especially even in a city like this. So I don't think people you can't just T-flight. Like, it doesn't work like that. Like, baby, you will be sleeping in the dark. So unfortunately, I'm not saying it's not something that I don't support. I think everybody should do what's best for their financial situation. I just don't feel like it should be like, oh, if this person doesn't send a barrel or send me a Western Union, that they don't care for me. Sometimes you have to look at the other person's perspective. But also, you know what I'm saying, when you do come back home or you know how the culture is, if you have a little something to give, if they pick you up from the airport and making sure that you got everything that you need when you go down there, it's nothing to bless somebody's hand. I just see both sides.
Don't send a barrel to Jamaica. If you don't understand the cultural significance of barrel, of sending money home, just don't do it. I remember when I was struggling with my son many years ago. And literally, barrel saved my life. That barrel saved me sometimes like 6 months on a supermarket bill. Sometimes I was in such desperate need. At the $50 a Western Union make me eat. You understand me? Sometimes when the rent need to pay, and sometimes I when I'm back to school and you're so desperate and you get on the phone and you want to beg the $100 and you go around so many corners because you want to beg the $100, but you don't know how to beg the $100 because embarrassment will kill you. You understand me? But at $100 day, keep the roof over your head for another month. You understand me? I remember that. This whole culture of sending barrel back home came about because as a community, we sacrificed and invested so that some of our relatives could get a ticket, could pay for the visa fees and buy a ticket. You understand me? And we help them get on their feet so that they could go abroad. And when them in a position and I make a little money, then yes, the expectation is that then they would turn around and help us. You understand? Sometimes it's the breadwinner of the family who left their children, as it was the case in my family, that my mother had to leave her children in the care of the community and go overseas. You understand me? Come to America to try to make it. And the struggles that she went through when she initially came here. You understand? And made sure that at home, not just us, but the community that we were in were okay. See, I understand that there are a lot of people nowadays who have the expectation that they should not work and that, the barrel must come and the money must come. I understand that, and I'm not discounting that. I feel like some of us, when we move into these Western capitalist cultures that is so individualistic and it's me, 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 we embrace that and we start to wear that and we forget that we came from wholesome communities that actually looked out for one another. You understand me? That when you're hungry, you can get some food from next door. Because you know that when your neighbor is hungry, then you turn around and feed them. That's literally the communities that a lot of us came from. And to come talk about we not send no barrel home. And to come talk about we not go to Western Union for nobody. I've always been an advocate for second and third generation Jamaicans overseas to claim their citizenship. But I feel like a lot of you also are too far removed from the culture and are too far removed from the significance of certain traditions for you to successfully integrate and contribute to that community. So I don't know. Right now, I'm second guessing whether or not that is something that I still support. Because too many of you are far removed from the culture that you want to claim.
For all of the immigrants them, whether in the United States, you know, be vigilant and be observant. You see, for everybody we are Jamaica, we love big, on things and always want to like them an ambulance or siren. Just watch them and look under the screen recording or so much of them are rejoice. And I say, a true chum for send on back come to Jamaica and XYZ. Listen, put those people in a one box. Put them in a one box. So when the grace of God come through and the faith and mercies of God come through and get on the papers and go to Jamaica, cut on the yaya for them because none of them will even know. Because none of them benefit from undocumented person and illegal immigrants. Maybe they're not telling us them undocumented or them illegal in the United States, but they are. And are the same people them want to take up on the phone and a beg $50 or $40 or a beg something. You understand? And then have the audacity for something when are really concerned on them. Because whether Trump win or not, or whether Trump deport the people them, it not have nothing to do with them because the family live at Jamaica, so they're not supposed to in a United States business. On the dep on screen recording, on the on the phone, on the dep on hall about a rejoice and a celebrate. Say Trump I got same a come in with mass deportation and yet still a quick fish stretch out on the hand for big illegal immigrants to say somebody a come down, send me one shirt, beg you one shoes, beg you one hat, beg you one underpants, beg you one drawers or something. On the first always for beg. People love rejoice the most about undocumented immigrants in the islands or in the Caribbean or in Jamaica in general. Are them first always for beg. Because me I tell you say them people are them bad man, them envious, them jealous because any of them did have the chance and the opportunity to be an undocumented or illegal immigrant in America, they would have. But through them not have the money to make the transition or to take the flight from Jamaica for reaching the United States, and that abound them. So they want to come back home, come join them and suffer just like them. And that, and that to not talk about who not productive from who this and who that. Is bad man and you need for fix up on the folly grounds them, else will never elevate from the ground zero on a day in our life. Fix up on the folly grounds.
So this is what it's like to live a foreign and have family back home asking for money and you're not have it. Watch here.
Big dirty white girl pussy where have a sucker foreign, dirty lesbian, bumbo hole, you check 7 on one. Fire for pussy hole, yeah. And keep your things, cause y'all get fucked. Better live a blood clot for it.
That's what it's like.
Yo, if people may borrow your money and want an attitude with you, want kill you, want fight you, want curse you, the question me want ask, me not fi ask back for me things. And me borrow something from you and you borrow something from me. And that more than want to know. And who borrow something from who? You borrow me money and when me ask you if you just start give me attitude. You want disrespect me when me want money. Listen to me now, man. Run me money and don't bring you down. When me lend you money, I lend you name. That means you're supposed to give me back. Me not supposed to have to ask you back for me money. So just give me money. You see him attitude where you have when you borrow it, I see him attitude more where you give me back.
Let me paint you a picture that every Caribbean diaspora family knows too well. Back in the day, sending a barrel home wasn't just generosity, it was survival. Auntie pulled her savings for your visa. Cousin sold his motorbike to help pay for your ticket. The whole community invested in your American dream because they believed you'd come back and lift everyone up. And for decades, this system worked. Those barrels filled with cornflakes, soap, and hope kept families afloat when the Jamaican economy cooled. But somewhere between the 80s, crack epidemic, the 2008 financial crisis, and now inflation hitting us like a freight train, this beautiful tradition became a financial chokehold. And we are all too proud, too guilty, or too scared to admit it's not working anymore. Here is the brutal truth nobody wants to say out loud. The barrel system has created two different types of trauma. On one side, you have diaspora kids, first, second, third generation, drowning in expectation they never signed up for. Working in Amazon warehouses, driving Uber at night, living in overcrowded apartments in Queens, all while being seen as the successful one because they have an American address. I know a woman in Atlanta who hasn't been to a restaurant in 6 months because every extra dollar goes home back in Jamaica. She's developed anxiety around her phone because she knows it's another request she can't afford to fulfill. That's not community support. That's a financial abuse disguised as culture. But flip the script. Back home, you've got families watching their relatives make it in America while they're still struggling to buy groceries. The psychological warfare is real. You see your cousin posting pictures from Times Square while you are rationing rice and peas for the week. Right? The resentment builds. The barrier mentality kicks in. Why work when why work when a family abroad should take care of you? This creates a toxic cycle where both sides start keeping score. I sent $500 as man and they didn't even take a thank you. They went to Miami for vacation, but they said they couldn't help with school fees. We are literally destroying relationships over money that none of us have enough of. Let me get personal for a minute. Right? And I quote someone said that their grandmother used to tell them, "Picnic, we go foreign, must not forget home." And she was right, but she said that in a time when foreign meant opportunity, not just survival with better scenery. The America our parents dreamed of doesn't exist for most of the people, the millennials and Gen Zs. The individualistic culture here is not just about being selfish, it's about survival. When your neighbor won't lend you sugar, when healthcare bankrupts you, when your job can fire you for being 5 minutes late, you learn to protect yourself first. That's not forgetting your culture. That's adapting to a system designed to break you. Okay? But here is what heartbreaking. The most heartbreaking part, by the way. We're losing the actual beauty of Caribbean community culture while fighting over money. Remember when community meant sharing meals, not just sharing bills? When looking out for each other wasn't transactional. We've reduced our rich tradition of mutual aid to a guilt-driven ATM system. The second and third generation kids especially feel this. They didn't make the choice to leave Jamaica. They were born into this expectation without the emotional connection that makes them the sacrifice feel meaningful. They are being asked to fund a dream they never had for people they barely know, based on debts they never incurred. That's crazy. And this is where it gets really heavy. Because behind every card, like, can you send something small text message, is It's genuine desperation. $50 that you can't afford to send might literally keep someone housed that month. A barrel you stress over for weeks might feed a family for months. The need is real, the love is real, but the system is broken, guys. Just understand the people in the diaspora. They're all casualties of global capitalism pretending to be family dysfunction. Jamaica's economy was structured to export labor and import dependency. America's economy was designed to extract maximum productivity while offering minimum security. We are playing a rigged game and blaming each other for losing. And you're not the co-starters of the game in the first place. The guilt is on both sides. It's destroying people. People abroad guilt themselves into poverty. People at home guilt themselves into resentment. Children grow up watching their parents stress about money that's going to support relatives they have never met. Relatives back home watch opportunities pass them by while waiting for help that may never come. That's crazy. So, as always, what's the solution? First, we need to get comfortable with uncomfortable conversations like this. If you're abroad and can't afford to send money, say that. Don't send it. I don't have. If you're home and need, be specific about what you need and why. Stop the passive aggressive, like checking in messages that are rarely requests for money. Like what? Number two, we need to reimagine what community support looks like in 2025. Maybe it's not barrels and Western Union. Maybe it's sharing business connections, providing job references, offering skills training, or connecting people with opportunities. That's it. Maybe it's sending smaller, more sustainable amounts instead of broke making lump sums. Number three, we need to address the root causes, advocate for economic policies that create opportunities both abroad and at home. Support Caribbean businesses. That's another thing. Invest in education and entrepreneurs. Heat programs. Stop treating symptoms and start healing the system. But most importantly, we need to separate love from money. Your worth as a family member isn't measured by your remittance history. Your success isn't determined by how much you can send home. And your connection to your culture doesn't depend on your bank account balance. The barrel tradition started as an act of love. It's time we brought it back to that foundation, voluntary, sustainable, and built on mutual respect rather than obligation and guilt. If someone doesn't send you money from America, don't blame them. Because at the end of the day, we're all just trying to survive and take care of the people we love. And that shouldn't require destroying yourself in the process, right? So, guys, what do you think about this? What are your thoughts? Keep them down below in the comments, keep them respectful, and don't forget to like this video, share it, and as always, just become a family, just become a community. Subscribe. I hope to see you in my next video.